go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robes Away channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today, welcome back to the Royal Crown affair. Yeah, we are delving more into the brand of Royal Crown. We're digging the grave and we're just going even deeper now. We're going with Flair. Flair from the brand of Royal Crown. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have several of these. I've unboxed several of these and you're like, oh, he's rolling in money. No. I'm decanting these, but at the same time, it really isn't. And it was my first dip into the brand. I had no intention of sniffing this brand. From afar, I kind of knew what was going on here, but if you don't know, they're part of the Free Bottle Brigade. I would say 90%, maybe 95% of the videos that you're seeing on YouTube, the people didn't buy the bottles. You can obviously tell when someone has several of them at the same time. I'm sorry, but these are like $400 American each. Not anymore. Like discounters are trying to get rid of them, but yeah. Maybe some people are rolling in dough like that. But honestly, personally, if you are buying them with your own money, I'm judging you from afar saying, what are you doing? You spend your money, especially in the fragrance game, a lot better than this personally. But we're going to delve into Flair. Again, it's the first impression. You never know. I could have got several duds, and then this is going to be the wow factor here. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Smash the like button as well, especially with brands from the Free Bottle Brigade. You kind of want, not that you kind of want, but it would be nice to have my face beside those influencers because now the world is actually balancing out. Instead of the free bottles, yes, it's amazing, beautiful, then somebody may click on my video and go, oh, okay, like someone that's truthful. But Flair, let's get into it. Let's look at the note breakdown. And as usual, we got 12 plus notes to look at. It's all over the place. We got citruses, we got obviously a lot of florals here: rose, violet, jasmine, osmanthus, a peach blossom. We have a back end that has basically every note imaginable. So I don't even know where this is going to go with the name. The name doesn't really tell me much. It was released back in 2015, and I'm not going to go through packaging of that. If you haven't seen my older videos of Royal Crown, go check them out. I've been doing this, but yeah, I personally, it's cheap. In regards to this, and I told you, I think we hit our 3 out of the 6 with the bottles, and in the corner here we have the jewel that goes on top of, I told you guys, this packaging, actually the diamond the diamond fell out of the cap. And, oh, she's pretty in the back end. But, okay, that's enough of that. So, we have a broken cap as per usual. Track record, not the greatest with Royal Crown as far as packaging goes. Just keep that in mind. Proof's in the pudding right now, right? I've been unboxing for months now, daily, right? Anybody that's been on my channel is probably like, okay, Mark, that's enough unboxings. I'm getting there. No, I'm not. There's tons more to do. But, yeah, heavy caps, pink, Flair pink. I'm assuming this is going to be for the ladies out there, but you never know. Never judge a book by its cover, right? I'm a huge fan of scent profiles are unisex. Again, certain notes will make you think of your grandma, your mom, things like that, just because of your history with the certain note. Like some people, rose, and depending on the rose can give you different types of facets, but a certain rose can remind some people of their grandma because their grandma wore a rose-based fragrance, maybe a powdery one, and that's just what goes in your mind. And again, like all these videos of like top 10, you know, this, that, and the other, compliment factor, things that everybody's got a different nose, everybody's got a different history with a certain note. So anyway, Flair by Royal Crown. Let's see, this is bottle 6 or 7. I lost count of the brand. Definitely, I have a good Rolodex now of Royal Crown fragrances. And to be quite honest, like, after this, I have one more. I have My Oud, which is the last one of the bunch. And after that, unless I stumble upon a free sample or I get bottles in from Fragflex that needs to be decanted, I'll do a video on them, obviously. I'll give you some content. I am not going to be spending my own money, first of all, on a bottle. There's no way, as far as the price goes, not even. I don't even care about the price. The fragrances themselves would have to be 30 bucks, and even then I wouldn't buy them. That's just my thought process. As far as samples go, I would not spend my own hard-earned money for samples, and samples of this will probably be like 20 bucks, things like that, because they're so expensive. No thanks. So Flair, let's see, we'll put it on strip and then we'll put it on skin. Atomizers, again, I have no issues with the atomizers. They're okay, they're decent. They're not the best in the game, but they do the trick. So let's sniff this one. Flair. Ooh, floral. Very floral. And with all the florals in there, I kind of... Okay, fruity floral. So, yeah, it just smells like a typical fruity floral in the designer game. It smells like peach. It smells like rose. It's a little powdery. It's fresh, like a fresh, fruity, floral kind of thing. That's my issue with this brand is exactly that. First of all, the pricing. All the issues with the packaging, fine. I can look the other way in regards to that, right? However, this, no. Box, honestly, I don't really care what the box is. Like if you're gonna cheapen out on trying to look regal and you're just gonna do like screen printed stuff like this and a little sticker like this that's falling off, I don't really care. Bottle wise, yes, I care because they're gonna be behind me and I do care about that. Obviously it's all about the scent, but like this, the cap here, this is, their track record is like 50%. It's either you're going to get one or you're not going to get one broken. I can't deal with that, especially I'm paying $400. There's no way. I don't want to be upset half the time when I'm buying. And if you do go online, you will see things like that. If you go on sites and stuff, you'll see the comments, broken again, I'm done with this brand, blah, blah, blah. They need to fix that. So yeah, a fruity floral on the fresh side. It's a little powdery on my skin here. Violet, yeah. Rose, definitely. Peach, definitely. A little soapy, a little powdery, you know, that kind of rose. Kind of old schoolish, kind of. Very much designer-ish. So there's nothing here that smells, I need to spend $200. Even at $100, it's a little much to ask for, honestly. This smells like I'm sorry, but a bargain bin fragrance. It smells like that, like you blind body bargain bin fragrance at 25, 30 bucks. You bring it home and you're still disappointed. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Because there's nothing here. It's nothing new to the game. It doesn't smell any of the notes that I'm getting. Doesn't smell any different, any better. It doesn't, it really is. And that's one thing as a fragrance reviewer that, you know, that I think a fragrance reviewer should do, especially with the experience that I have. And again, I'm no expert. I don't claim myself to be an expert. But with my experience of all the fragrances that I've smelt, all the notes that I've smelt, like I've smelt probably hundreds of rose-based fragrances, hundreds of jasmine-based, vanilla-based, go on and go forth, right? And there's nothing in here, the peach, the violet, the rose, that screams out niche to me. Niche at all, like, or high-end designer. It smells like $50 fragrance because it's nothing new to the game. It doesn't smell expensive. And, you know, the thing that I try to portray in my fragrance reviews is if you blindfolded me and I smelt this and I didn't know it was from this brand, would I be saying the same things? You wouldn't be able to trick me on this. Well, you would, because if you say, hey, Mark, does this smell like $400 fragrance? I'd say absolutely not. But it's very pedestrian as a scent profile. Primaries would have to be peachy, violet, rose. Anything else, like there's osmanthus in here, and I smell a little bit of that, but it's not, you know, like Sunshine Woman, which had osmanthus, and it had that such a vivid apricot that it just, you know, something like that. And that's what I'm looking for a niche brand, is something like the Apricot in Sunshine Woman, the Osmanthus. Now it's setting itself apart from other osmanthus-based fragrances because of how good it is. It's three-dimensional, and those are things I'm looking for as a fragrance reviewer. Here, osmanthus is very small, but it doesn't show, it's there, but it's not showing a 3D idea. It's not very vivid. The rose in here, very pedestrian. You can get this from a cheap, again, bargain bin release. Jasmine, violet, again, violet's giving out exactly what I would get in a designer fragrance, right? Peach blossom, it's saying peach blossom, but I'm smelling a fruity peach more than anything. That is, it's not different. It's not crazy. It's not amazing. It just smells like a typical designer peachy fragrance. So this is what this brand is really, you know, that's why it's getting this kind of feeling from me in my fragrance reviews. And it's not fun. It's not fun. Like, I could see why fragrance reviewers do a lot of positive. Like, if somebody got this for free 99, I see influencers, you know, they always like try to defend themselves and say, well, if you send me something I don't like, I'm not going to do a review of it. Well, what's the point of you being, you're not a reviewer anymore. You're not giving out feedback on a fragrance that you didn't like. Oh, well, I don't want to put negative air in social media. Well, it's not about negative air. It's about, you're a fragrance reviewer. Like, if anybody's reviewing, let's say, a lawnmower, I'm looking for a lawnmower recently. I'm looking for negatives. I want to see the negatives. What kind of issues are you having? Oh, it's a battery operated. Well, the battery breaks every 6 months. Everybody's having the same issue. Well, okay. Well, that's going to make me think twice of buying that, right? That's what, you know, I would hope somebody in, you know, reviewing fridges, reviewing cars, reviewing, I don't know. Like, I don't understand this concept as a fragrance reviewer that everything has to be positive. So at the end of the day, we all know about the box issues, the presentation issues. We all know about the cap issues, the tackiness, the bottles kind of look cheap. It's a brand personally that looked at the niche realm and went, okay, where can we fit in? What are things that we can take from other brands that have been successful and kind of put ourselves in that price tag? Now, bejeweling a crown, you know, this is, I don't care about this, honestly. I find it tacky. Rouge à Dove, I find those things tacky personally. I can't do it. So Flair, at the end of the day, as far as scent profile goes, very pedestrian, very, nothing expensive here. You can find this at a bargain bin. There's nothing here that shouts expensive, unique, even if it's not unique. Like, I've had niche brands that are not unique in a way. They're very much daily wear type of fragrances, but at the same time, they may have something, a little sparkle here and there that is gravitating me towards it instead of buying something that's 20 bucks, right? This is not. No inspiration for me personally. Flair. So we're on to the last one, my oud. Next week, hopefully, that will go a little better. Again, I'm not looking to continuously bash a brand, but at 400 USD, you got to come with your A game. At least come with a B game or even a C game. At least give me something. This is in the DEF game. I would technically say big F right now with this brand, personally. I can't do it. So at the end of the day, I did get this at fragflex.com, and you can too if you want to. Again, you know, it doesn't always have to be a positive fragrance review. To use a code TFG10 to get 10% off on the website. You can purchase Flair if you want to. The 10% off will definitely take a lot of money off of your purchase because these are expensive, but it can be used site-wide. So if you're interested, go right ahead. But for me personally, I know it doesn't make sense, a fragrance reviewer giving out a code or a website thing and really just bashing the fragrance. Well, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sugarcoat something to get anything out of a code. So Flair by Royal Crown. I personally, if you're asking me, avoid, avoid, avoid. Now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly. Please let us know what you think about this release. You can, if you haven't smelt this, you can tell us about the brand. Good or bad. You know, I'm not going to censor comments in my comment section in regards to the fragrance. I will not. I will not delete comments that say, you know, I absolutely love this, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. Tell us why. That is great. You know, if you're saying, oh, your bottles, all my bottles have been perfectly fine. Perfect. Good. Nice to see. Now, as always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your uber expensive brands wisely. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.